All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for the Ancient Magus Bride, episode 14. Yeah, and
she's been turned into a fox.
And she's been somewhat abducted.
Right. Well, we're not entirely sure.
Not entirely sure. And this guy, this magical being of...
is very old.
Mysteriousness is old, but we shouldn't judge based on appearances. I think that this is something where... they're going to be a problem, potentially.
Yeah, I think so.
But I also have learned that I assumed Lyndall was going to be the villain.
That's true.
Back in episode 2.
But I think with this guy, it's probably a bit safer to assume he's a villain because Chisei literally had the point where she looked at him and saw his true colors or whatever.
Yeah. I am not going to assume anything at this point. This show has taught me, if anything, that people in particular... in the show, in the story, are constantly being judged based upon
their
appearances and such. And
that is kind
really
of the
gives
theme.
you no information other than what they look like.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where the story will shift, if any at all, because
I think it will shift just a bit.
I think that we've gotten to that point where Chisei and Elias have had some good conversations that need to be had in order to move things forward in a better direction.
And now we'll be able to see maybe if distance makes them fonder.
Well, I don't think they're going to be distant for very long, but in particular, having new characters brought into the mix might shake up the dynamic a little bit.
New conflict.
And if anything, that's what Ancient Magus Bride has had a lot of, is having these new side characters brought in, which help inform Chisei and Elias with a little bit of perspective on the situation as a whole, particularly Chisei.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So without further ado, let's get into this episode and see what happens. Right back where we left off.
So... what will the fox say? Yeah, that's the other thing. Lyndall didn't have a Kiriko Tamina voice.
Yeah.
お前たちを縛る目を持つ人間がそんなに気に入らないか
Okay.
Sure.
そばに置くならば人の身でない方が都合がよかろう。身の影から生まれたなり損ないよりも良いからな。お前たちは皆僕をそう呼んで遠ざけ。は寒いのは嫌いなんだ。まこと可愛らしい。
Interesting. Okay. Oh, the visuals are so gorgeous.
Okay, so not an abduction.
Yep.
Something.
どこまで行こう。どこまでも行ける気がする。
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, but I'm worried. But like it's so beautiful that I'm like I shouldn't be.
誰もいないところまで。
何に？
向こうに。
Yeah.
それでいいのか？
それでいいよ。
お前がいいなら俺も一緒に行こう。でもお前はもうあっちに何もないのか？
チセ、僕はまだわからないことがたくさんある。
What is this for?
チセがいてくれないと困るよ。
I guess it's like his previous form, but not in attack mode.
困るし、寒くて寂しい。
寒いのは私も嫌いです。
Wow.
だから。
Okay.
俺は人狼になるための毛皮なんだよ。
Ah, that's what she was
まあ
wearing.
この毛皮は狐だけど、
Wearing.
ひどいものをよこされたよ。使いたいときは僕に言ってね。ああいうのを愉快犯って言うんだよ。消えてる
See,
し。
mischievous.
使いたくない。
Mischievous.
Yeah.
Whoa.
ジョエルを。
She's back. And she's off.
Yeah.
Save him from what?
I'm
He's
guessing-
dying?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
old age probably.
Yeah.
私じゃどうしようもできなくて。
Yes.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
her wand.
oh.
お前
Yeah.
は良き女。
Cool. All right.
Okay.
ジョエルさん。
Wouldn't Elias be a lot better at this?
いきなり出てったと思ったら、
エリアス。
Okay, yeah.
リャナンシーか。どうした？食わないのか？お前の獲物だろ。
Right. But she's not. No,
私
it's
は
not.
食べてなんかいない。
吸血鬼が取り付いたら、
Yeah.
その人間の未来は決まっているだろう。
Crap.
つい
Okay.
てなんか
He wants me nearby. Yeah.
離れなきゃ。私がずっと遠くに行ったらジョエルは。
無駄だよ。お前はもうこの男に手をつけた。
It's very cold.
いくら離れてももう。
エリアス、ごめんなさい。ジョエルさんを見ててもらえませんか？
いいよ。
私はあれを
Sure you don't. Sure
愛
you
してなん
don't.
かいない。
Yeah.
違うのよ。だって愛してしまったら私たちはその愛を通さなきゃいけないの。
Oh. Jeez. Oh, didn't see this coming.
Me neither.
気分はどうですか？
Clever, Elias. Clever.
あなたは死神か何かですか？
似たようなものです。うちの子が世話になりまし
Nice.
た。千世という名の子です。あなたはもう長くはないでしょう。
僕は早くに妻に先立たれました。お互い親の紹介で知り合って恋愛ではなかったけれど
Oh.
悲しかった。
Oh, I gotcha.
でも妻が残したバラの庭
Yeah.
が僕を悲しみから
And
救
that's
い
where
上
he
げてく
saw
れた。
her. Yep.
Right.
The
正午の光の幻だろうが次を願う美しい出会いもあった。あの赤いスーリのような目の人を願えるならまた。
yeah. She says Slay Beggy, she can break the rules.
Oh yeah.
Fairy ointment.
妖精の塗り薬を。
Yeah.
作ってもいいですか？あれをまぶたに塗ればただの人でも
So he could see
Uh-huh.
ジョエルさんでも
fairies.
彼女の姿が見られるようになります。
人間に使ってはいけないも
Who
の
is
で
it meant to be used on
隣
then?
人たちに知られれば。
私は一目だけでも一言だけでもあの二人に。
ダメ
Oh.
と言いたいところだけど、
Oh.
千世のわがままは初めてだし、
True.
Yeah,
ただし
Chise.
無茶はしないこと。
Okay, cool.
Nice.
なんでそうなる？
なんででしょうね。
そのままの状態を維持できないとまずいよ。僕は今回手伝えないし。
すまない。俺も手伝えなくて。
いいよ。魔法を使うときうんと目を凝らす。そうするとゆらゆらと揺れる光が遊んでいるのが見える。
Cool.
Oh yeah. Every time they do anything like
こ
this,
れ
it's
が魔
just,
力と呼ばれるものらしい。
just amazing.
それは夜の星の色に似ている。かと思えば海みたいに青かったり森の中みたいな緑だったりして時々朝焼けのように白む。
Now they're just showing off.
まとま
Yeah.
ってできた。
うん、大丈夫そうだね。しっかり維持すること。
はい。
本当に無理はしないこと。何かあったら言うこと。
体から大事なものが抜けていく気がする。誰かいるのか？
As he's coming closer to death,
He's-
is he able to
I
just
think so.
sense her more and more?
古い金貨。その間ずっと薬瓶に張り付いていなければならない。寝ることも許されない。
Yeah.
That is.
それでも失敗するか、
Yeah.
成功するかは
Wow, okay.
五分五分。
I mean, it's gonna work.
なんでここまでしてくれるの？
5 days without sleep is not
あなたたちの行為っ
Hopefully
て
that.
そういうものなんでしょう。私は私に笑ってくれた人たちには私のために
Who smiled at me
笑
to
った
keep
ままでい
smiling
てほし
for
いだけ
me.
なんだよ。
Oh.
人間ってバカね。そしてわがままだわ。
What?
What is happening?
匂うぞ。匂いがする。祝福の匂いだ。
Whoa.
Oh.
へえ、
Hey, this guy!
Nice.
面白いことをやってるな。
You can do it.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
お疲れ様。
エリアス、
大丈夫。できてるよ。
You sure?
Okay.
ギリギリだったね。
Oh, okay.
All right. All right.
Cool.
Cool.
Basically, like
あなたが
little
したいよう
contact
にしていい
lenses.
んだよ。
Yeah. Now, is that all that was made, or is that just all they're giving her?
I think it's all they're giving her. I'm not sure though. We'll see.
夢かな。さっきは起き上がれなかったのに長いこと眠っていた気がする。
Oh.
やっと会えた。
あんたが私を見つけたせいであんたから離れられなくなっちゃった。なんであんたが謝るのよ。怖いって言ったくせに一人で行くのが怖いって。
全部君にあげよ
う。でも私はジョエルからもらってばっかりで。
妻と死に別れてから僕の人生はただただ惰性みたいなものだった。でもその一瞬だけ君と目が合った。とても綺麗でまた会いたいと思った。それだけで僕の人生は惰性ではなくなったんだ。
バカよあんた。そんなこと言われたらますます離れら。
僕がどこに行くかはわからない。もしかしたら妻のそばへ行けるのかもしれない。でもきっと君のそばにも行く。一人ぼっちじゃないなら、待っている人がいるなら、だからこの命は君がもらってく。
Oh, the music. Oh yeah, the music is amazing.
返事もしてないのに本当に人間ってバカでわがまま。この世が朽ちるまでジョエルがまた来るのを待ってる。知性ありがとう。
Yeah. She said.
泣いてる。
よくわかりません。エリアスはどう思いますか？
わからない。ただ君が泣いてるのを見るのは少し体の中身がモヤモヤする。
じゃーん。
Ah! Oh, of course, this is how Oberon would show up again. Yep.
それを人間が作るのはご法度なのさ。と。
What? What? Why? Why'd you have to do that? Why did the show decide that having that kind of a cliffhanger would be okay?
Well, to be fair, okay.
Yeah.
They've done crazy cliffhangers like that before.
That's true.
And usually they don't follow through on them. In that there will be something
true.
where it's not actually as bad as it seems.
That's true.
So,
I'm not super worried. It was just more of like the shock of it all.
Yeah.
With the fact that Elias doesn't ever seem to be able to truly protect Chisei from these things when they happen, and he's right there.
I know.
So it kind of is like, geez, bro, like...
Yeah, I guess he didn't know that this was something that could happen. For a second
it's a law of nature, maybe. That's what it could be. Oberon is not the type, I would say, to be vindictive or...
No. Even though for a second I was like, did Oberon do that?
But the ring, in particular, is a protective bit.
Yeah.
It shields her from harm. So essentially, the magic of whatever this curse was overloaded the ring.
Right, and if I recall correctly, Elias specifically said that it functioned as a limiter for her magic.
That's also true.
So if it broke, that might be that she used magic exceeding her limits.
Possibly.
I don't know. But
her body is frail.
Right,
so
her body's frail.
I almost don't want to jump to any conclusions about why this happened, because with Ancient Magus Bride, the show has very specific ties to certain myths and mythology in general that I'm like
we generally don't know much about. Yeah.
Generally like not going to be perfectly in the know about. Like I knew that the Alianan Shid, Sidehe, I think that's Shid. or Shai.
I think it's Sheed. I don't know.
Anyways, it's a succubus of sorts, and yet she wasn't giving him anything, and yet she was taking by being in his presence, just by her own nature of sorts.
Right.
So I almost want to say that the tie-in with this is that it's some kind of just rule of the way things work.
Sure. Yeah. And hey, this is a way that
cool.
they can bring Chisei to the land of the fairies potentially, or at the very least, bring Lady Tatiana back into the story.
Yes, so, I really enjoyed her character when she was introduced because she represented something with that uncanny valley area where it seems human but definitely not.
It was the idea where it's like there were things that were otherworldly that we had already seen, but this was otherworldly by otherworldly standards.
Right. In the same way that kind of Galadriel in Lord of the Rings was. Exactly. I felt like she was that representation.
Right.
But in particular with the succubus, the Lianen
Seed or whatever.
Seed, or however you pronounce it. I didn't think they would bring her character back. And
me neither.
Here she is. And they had a very emotional resolution to the whole thing. But it was a resolution. And it was brought up basically to be definitively resolved.
Right.
And I wonder now, since we guessed that in the previous time that she showed up, that the reason was to show the parallels between their dynamic and Chisei and Elias's, but this is different. The way this was handled was not
this
to
was
draw
a sense
parallels
of like
there.
Foreboding.
Yeah, it's the presence of the magical being next to a human,
and that they just can't coexist really.
And I think what this might be referring to is Chisei's magic and her human body. It's not that Elias is causing any kind of harm necessarily to her, but it's that Chisei's access to this amount of magic is something that's dangerous to her.
Yep.
And that was a theme running out throughout this episode. You don't overwork yourself. Don't you dare overwork yourself.
Yep. Elias made point of that many times.
And we don't know, but this might be connected to it.
It might be. Yep.
Yeah. Also, Renfred, the sorcerer, mentioned when he sent the bird a while back, that you need to be doing something about having her stay with you, you have a responsibility to uphold.
Yes, was that Renfred who sent it? Oh, okay.
The sorcerer,
okay.
The bird.
Gotcha. Yeah. But I guess hopefully the hopeful plus side for this is that we'll get to see the land of the fairies.
I'm almost definitely certain we'll see the land of the fairies. I just wonder, wait, is this about Chisei's development as a Sleighbeggy? Or is this about something that the curse relayed from the here's remember the guy that put the curse on her, that the fox thing and everything like that. Which by the way, that part about saying you're just upset because humans, tying you down and stuff, which kind of have some kind of vindictive thing towards humans.
Right.
I wonder if that's potentially where he can come back as an antagonistic force later.
Yep.
Because in this, he wasn't really antagonistic. He was more mischievous.
He was antagonistic, but he was not vindictive. Really.
No. He was actually calling him out on saying, are you so vindictive just because of the way humans tied you down?
Right.
So he's calling him out. Elias is saying, because of that, you bring it out on Chisei because just because she's human, and I don't think that he was trying to kill her or anything.
No, but
I think he was trying to separate them for some reason.
Exactly. Right. He basically sees something from my domain or something like that or whatever is being untrue to its nature. I'm going to set it free because this is how it was supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So then, Chisei as a Sleighbeggy shouldn't. The state she's in is unnatural for some reason, according to this guy, potentially.
Right.
The relationship between the succubus and the regular guy, it's unnatural.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it should be scorned or anything.
No, but it was something that was sort of doomed to not end well.
It was doomed to not end well, but that doesn't mean it should never have happened.
No.
And that's the point I think that Ancient Magus Bride brings back all the time, is that there are things that aren't best done certain ways, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have happened at all. It's kind of like how
better to have
Elias...
loved than lost than never loved at all.
Exactly. It's that Elias and Chise can have some kind of a relationship in some way.
Yeah.
But there are certain parts of it that are probably doomed to fail by the laws of nature.
Right.
In that, one's human and one's not.
Exactly.
And, other things as well. Chise's time limit with how long she has to live.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So that could be the tie-in as well, that the themes are that Chise and Elias is not a happy ending type of relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
And that there is plenty of ways that it could go very wrong. And if anything, the environment is trying to call to, like you were saying, call to the nature of this relationship and say that it is wrong, it shouldn't exist. Or so it tries to constantly pull them apart.
Just because it's happening doesn't mean that it'll get rid of the inherent problems,
Yes, because they are making it sort of work, which is pretty cool.
Right.
And yet there are all these environmental factors that come in that try to force them apart.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. And if anything, Elias's coldness towards the succubus, I think was very apropos for just who he is or what he is.
Yeah.
But the fact that Chise just would not stand for it.
No,
that
Elias,
was shut
great.
up,
Yeah.
shut up. Like,
Yep.
do you not realize like what you're doing right now?
Right. Because it could be due to the fact that Elias, one, is cold, so he doesn't really understand emotions that well, but it could also be that he just takes it at face value of, oh, there's a succubus here.
Okay.
Well, of course, she's, killing this person. He doesn't realize that that was not happening or that was not intentional.
For sure.
There was the whole idea of freedom and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the succubus said, I'm going to stay here till the end of days.
yeah. Guys,
so,
she loved him.
Yeah.
Like she may be in denial a little bit, but whoa.
And that's one of those things where when she said that, I was like, that's very impactful. That's a very big statement,
it's
right?
Huge.
But I also wish she hadn't said that, because that's, he, even though the Joel guy, even though he needed help moving on, he still moved on.
Right.
And that seems...
she can't.
And she can't. And I get that...
Or she won't.
Or she won't. Yeah, one of those things. And
both
I
are
get
pretty
that's
meaningful.
Right. And because, she loved him so much, it's like, I get that's something that would happen. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like one of those things where I wished that there was something else potentially thrown in there to, say that she's not just going to be staying there all sad and stuff forever. Because while that can sound like poetic and stuff, it's like, oh, come on, don't do that. Like,
yeah, what they're actually saying is we've now officially written her out of the story.
Yeah. Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't expecting her to come
We
back
weren't expecting her to come back anyway,
so.
But now it's kind of like, oh, we brought them back and we got some really heartfelt stuff out of it.
Yeah.
But
and that
was
was great. And got to give a shout out to this. They did a much better job of having there be like lingering moments and stuff with this whole deal with them than they did before.
Yes, I agree.
And that helped so much for the scenes, just to make them have more impact and stuff. So.
Right. I don't know if I could argue whether
that.
or not the previous episode of them was needed in order for this to have happened. But I don't think that's for me to judge.
Yeah,
if anything, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of the story between Elias and Chise beyond having Chise have some perspective informed about her, because I think she's carrying with her now every single person that she encounters, and that's a really big good thing for Chise, is that all these people from Angelica to Elias to Ruth, like all of the above, they stay with her, and there's a lingering effect of their love, of their person that she carries with her as her character. And I think that in that respect, this part of the story was needed.
Oh yeah,
but
this fit in very nicely.
But this second half of it was executed much better.
Right. And it's one of those things that makes me wonder, like, if they had done the whole thing, like, it would have been very different if they had done the entire thing, like, both parts in one episode.
Sure.
And because I liked the effect of this person coming back that, you haven't seen in a while, and they're like, something's happening, come quick. But it's just one of those things that makes me wonder how, like, my opinion might have changed if they had done it all in one episode.
I think it would have changed mine a lot.
Yeah?
I think that the knowledge of this neighbor being there was important for this episode. But the thing was, just the knowledge that they were there is really the big gist of it. They kind of could have shown in a previous bit some aspects of how they have neighbors just in general, and that those neighbors, are real people, and those neighbors that are real people have sometimes magical, creatures and beings and stuff that will come around because there's a really powerful old mage fairy creature named Elias here who kind of brings a lot of that stuff around. But Elias has to maintain a certain a certain stability around this area and stuff. So maybe he could have visited the guy and encountered the succubus in some way. And that could have been the tease, and then they have these two stories combined into one at a later episode.
And
that's all.
Yeah, and even then they made it so that each part fit into the themes of the episode that it was in.
Yes,
so,
I think that was why they split it.
Yeah, I think that was the main reason, and that does make it work a lot better.
Yes,
the things
specifically in this one, though.
Yeah, especially in this one,
because I think that's why the guy, the shapeless old ancient one thing, that's why he was brought in at this point in time.
Right, because it did seem like they resolved that really quickly.
Quickly.
It was very well done. I loved the scenes of her running as a fox and talking to Roach and Elias showing up and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah,
but I was expecting it to be like some like monumental thing that's like, oh, and now everything's different, and then it's like,
I expected it just to last for about half an episode, but it wasn't even that.
Yeah, like
because I think you were expecting it to be like the full episode at least.
Exactly.
And I was expecting it to be like, no, let's go about like half an episode. And it's like, no, it's 3 minutes or something.
A good or something 3 minutes or however long it was.
Gorgeous, amazing 3 minutes. But I think this is something that Ancient Magus Bride has working for it and against it every once in a while, is they haven't really fully figured out their pacing yet. And it's not that they haven't figured out a way to do good pacing. It's just that every once in a while they shake up the pacing.
Right.
And we're just kind of left being like, okay, I guess this is the way it's going now.
And that, in this case, I would say that is a very good thing.
Yes.
Because it's making us not get into the doldrums of like, oh, it's just an episodic thing. What's going to happen this episode? Yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
They're shaking it up a bit.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes.
And that's the thing that's making... And it's the thing that's making me not take Chisei coughing up, a pint of blood super seriously, because this is something that they've done a lot of times before, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of effect by it.
Yeah, so if anything, shake us up again and have this actually have some really powerful lingering effect. Let's bring up the fact...
this is going to be one of those times where it happens.
I think it definitely will as well, is that her body is not meant to be using this much magic.
Right.
It broke the limiter. Now... we have to be like, okay, you did something that, you're not supposed to do. You're a slay beggy. You have 3 years to live. Maybe now you have a lot less than 3 years to live. Maybe the time frame just got accelerated a bunch because of some things that you did.
Yep.
That would be huge and would completely change a lot of the dynamics of the relationship between Ellis and Chisei, but also just within Chisei, where she's at, like, emotionally and mentally. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Anything that develops Chisei, I am really excited about, because I think her character is what makes the show
unique. Absolutely.
I think that the setting and all that is what makes it, like, have that edge on a lot of other fantasy type things.
But even a character like Elias, he could be moved into a different story.
He could be, yes.
But Chisei, no.
Chisei is something else.
Something other than a slay bag.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this was a lot of fun. If you want to catch our next reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. Yes. You can get on early access. You can also watch full-length reactions there. It comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about storytelling or what have you. And we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.